One of the things that the English Business Council are doing, apart from not getting involved in all these webinars about motivational skills and mental health, is we're putting together what we're calling a post-pandemic preparedness initiative, where we're listing all of those, like a checklist, all of those things that you need to start looking at now, once we come out of the tunnel at the end of the end, which could be 18 months, could be a year, could be whatever, but we need to start looking at it now, because people are only looking at what's happening now. They're not looking at what's going to happen or what they need to change in the future, or what they need to do now to combat that change, to look at that change, to see how that's going to work. A good friend of mine has written a book called The Post-Pandemic Future, which comes out in June. We're collaborating with him. Do you see it a reality that you could sit down and write out 10 or 15 things that you would need to look at, that other people could look at, in terms of where you should be directing your sort of R&D post-pandemic?
Absolutely. And actually what's interesting, and it's purely by luck, and it's certainly not by foresight, is that I can speak from our experience at Harmony Capital as a company, and again, a small company, but operating across a very wide geographic remit. So, all the way from Hong Kong to London, with Dubai in the middle, etc. And that is that, well before this crisis started, we, for example, wanted to ensure that all of our business could run remotely, that people can work remotely, that we can store all our information remote. Number one, because we're an ESG compliant investor, we don't want to kill trees to have lots of files and things like that. But we started moving in that direction. What this last 3 months has done is further deepened our need to do that, and do it quickly and be ready, because the next time, let's hope not, but the next time something like this happens, which I think is the thrust of your question, ready to implement quicker than we were months ago, even though we'd probably got an advanced data ahead of a lot of businesses. Now, we're a business which is, office based. We're not a cafe that's selling coffee to people who walk in off the street. They have different issues in their business, they have different risks. But we also have a lot of risks when we can't meet people, we can't visit companies, we can't, meet together, for example, as a team, which we do often. So I think, there are definitely things, and I think it will be a time for reflection when we come out of this, to see how our business is different. In fact, one of the things I want to do with my team and my senior team is and say, okay, where were we at the beginning of 2020? Where are we now? Whenever now, maybe it's June, maybe it's July, and say, what are the differences, and what are the things that will help us out of those differences sustain a period like this again? Because it will be dangerous to assume that there isn't going to be a need for another time like this. If it's not now, it may be 10 years from now. It could be well within our lifetimes again.